All right, everyone. So thank you guys for clicking on this link. You're probably here because you want to learn a little bit more about how pricing works in the food business, and we are very, very transparent with everything we do. So I'm updating this pricing video because if you look and search deep enough, you actually see that I did this video 3 years ago when we last did our pricing increase, or 2 years ago, and I'm going to do a rough version with the new economics. So behind me is kind of like the three phases of before or after a price increase. So if you want to know how it works, if you go to a cafe, this is any coffee shop in America, a Boba shop, any cafe model, you're going to see that if you make $1 or a full 100%, so if you make $1, about 30%, between 30 and 40 goes to labor. And that's just how it is. It's always been like that for historically in the industry. And then about 20% goes to COGS, cost of goods sold, and that's generally direct costs like for us, it's tea, it's the boba. We're at the warehouse right now, and we have a lot of straws here. It's all of that. Those are direct costs, cost of goods sold. That when you're holding a drink, that's everything you're holding. And then you have things like rent, utilities, management overhead, SG&A, selling, general administration. So it's generally how the model flows for one single store. And I don't want to get too much in between what goes in the headquarters and what goes into a store model, but this is what you roughly would create a store business model with. Well, what happens is this 30% of labor, particularly labor, that goes up. So in this case, the last time we did an update was about 2 years ago, and it was a $13 an hour minimum wage. And we don't pay minimum wage here, we pay $1 over minimum wage, but to give you an idea, we're gonna peg it to minimum wage. So if it's $13 an hour and it goes to 15, I think San Francisco today in July is $15.59, that's about 25% increase. So to make numbers really easy, you're gonna see the labor will go up by 25%. So it goes from 30% of a total to 37.5. So that's about a 25% increase of 30 is 37.5. So if you kept the top line the same, like you made $1, now 37% is going to go to labor versus 30% if you increase the labor by 25%. Does that make sense? If you're still following, COGS will also grow. So COGS is things like I said, milk, raw ingredients, tea. So whether it's tariffs related or just basic things. And yes, Boba guys gets economies of scale as we've been growing. I'm sure you guys know, you've seen our lines. We have been able to buy things a little cheaper in bulk. At the same time, that only just offsets some of the prices that are going to happen because naturally things increase. Fuel costs increase. California, we had a drought, so milk costs skyrocketed. So we have things like that. So over the last 2 years, a lot has happened, and we just had to take price. That's what you call it. So we had to figure out what exactly is that price. And you can see we didn't do it across the board this time. We did it so just on the whole, we can make a little bit of that 7% and 2.5% back. And so if we did nothing, our margins would go from a 10% EBITDA to closer to like 0.25, meaning if we made $1, only 2 cents, 2.5 cents, we earn in profit versus before we would have 10 cents. And so I think at the end of the day, we have to do what's best for our team to make this business sustainable. But we have to do what's best for you because I'm sure as you guys see all the merch, all the collabs like the 88 Rising and the Alexander Wang and Manila Killa, everything we did is really out of these profits, right? So the reason why we can change culture is because we have a lot more disposable income and profits to use that we give back to you guys. People know Ben and I obviously didn't do this for the money itself. And I think at the end of the day, we're just trying to make a more sustainable business. So when you kind of see the model, the price increase, we're not putting real numbers there because it depends on what market you're in. If you're in LA, if you're in New York, if you're in San Francisco, the price is different. But for the most part, this is the methodology behind how we take the price. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. We answer everything. Please be civil. We're not into haterism. We understand any time people raise prices is not fun, but at the same time, we haven't done this in over 2 years. So we just need to make our business sustainable as we keep on growing. So thanks for watching. This is more nerdy than you guys usually prefer. So if you chose to watch this, thank you. And yeah, we'll see you guys in stores. Thank you.